Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you're all having an awesome day today. I know I sure am. For today's video, we're going to be doing part 2 of our Shijie guitars review. So in the first part, we reviewed the Shijie Black Pro Tone Master 380. And in today's video, we're going to be reviewing this Shijie Tone Master S, which I'm assuming stands for Swamp Ash. But yeah, let's go ahead and check it out. Alrighty, I threw you guys for a loop there, huh? You thought you were going to be seeing the same old crappy guitar playing, but we got an actual guitar player in this channel. That was my good friend Gaby, so thank you for lending me your chops for this video. This is actually his guitar, but fortunate enough to be reviewing and comparing to my own as well, the Purple Tone Master, so that's what we're going to be doing today. What I'd like to do first is go over the specifications, and I've got the spec sheet here on deck. So I'm going to read these off to you. So this is a TMS custom. That's the name for it. Shijie guitars. This one's actually branded Shijie. Not that it matters when it comes to quality of construction and features anyway. Yeah, so this one has a bolt-on 6-screw neck, just like the other. You've got a 25.5-inch scale length, 2-piece Swamp Ash body, which is interesting because the other one has a 1-piece mahogany body. But this one has a seam right there in the middle. And then you've got a roasted maple neck and fingerboard. So roasted fingerboard is one difference from that one, aside from the Swamp Ash body. You've got a 42mm bone nut, Shijie thin U neck shape. So the neck shape is a little different. This is considered a thin U, and that one's a thin C. And then we've got 24 stainless steel frets, so that's one of the bigger differences from the other model. The same Shijie 19.1 locking tuners, same Shijie brass tremolo, so up here and up here we've got the same hardware. For the electronics, it's a little different, and this is another one of the more significant differences between one guitar and the other. You've got a Seymour Duncan TB4 humbucker in the bridge, and 2 Gotoh single coils in the middle and neck. You got your volume, tone pod, you've got your boost here and a 5-way position selector switch. So that's a little bit different aside from the roasted maple fingerboard, the stainless steel frets, and the Swamp Ash body with no additional cap or top here. Anyways, yeah. So I think I've gone through all of the features and specs. So what I'd like to do now is do some clean tones and distorted tones. Those will be provided by my good friend Gaby, as well as an additional lead section. And then I'm also going to do a quick comparison and compare this to the 380. Just compare the bridge humbucker and kind of see how that sounds very briefly with a clean tone and a distorted tone, so you can kind of pick the differences between one humbucker and the other. And then, yeah, we'll go on after that to my final thoughts and opinions on it. So let's go ahead and do that now. Alrighty guys, so you've heard the clean tones, dirty tones, distorted tones, lead tones, all that stuff. And you heard a quick brief comparison with the 380. So now let's go on to my final thoughts for this instrument. So this guitar, which is actually Shijie branded unlike that one, is priced at $950 plus shipping. So you're looking at about $1,050 shipped to your home. And one of the things I'll say is obviously the reason why there's a price difference is you got the stainless steel frets, which to this guitar's credit, the TM380 that I have to my right, those polished nickel frets are really nice, but when you get to stainless steel, you know, it feels like glass when you're doing your bends and whatnot. You got a roasted maple fingerboard, which is really, really nice. And it's highly figured, actually. It's kind of like a flame maple, flame roasted maple, which is interesting because it doesn't follow that same pattern on the back, although I think the back looks great too, but it would have been interesting if the whole thing was flame maple. And then, yeah, so that's one of the reasons why this guitar is a little bit more expensive. Obviously, you have the Seymour Duncan and the Gotoh pickups. In the sound comparison, you did hear that the Seymour Duncan has a little bit more output and a little bit more treble, or at least that's what I hear in the room. Not sure how that's going to transcribe to video, but yeah, I mean, just a little bit more bite. I do prefer that one in terms of tone, but it is, you know, we're looking at a $300 difference. So what you need to think about is, you know, is the frets, is the electronics worth it to you? Or am I good with saving some money and making it my own? Ultimately, that's up to you. If you were gonna refret that guitar and put stainless steel frets on it, it's gonna cost you the price difference. But of course, that one has some other features. I think they both serve a different purpose, right? I like that one as a kind of jack of all trades, do it all kind of thing. And this one I think can get a little bit more aggressive. I think it's a little bit faster neck, so more ideal for shredding, which makes sense. My buddy's a shredder, so I'm not. So yeah, and it's certainly a very unique look on this one as well. I really like this about Shijie guitars. It's interesting to me, they're kind of known for their strats and tellies, and I find that so overdone and over repetition, right? And these right here and that one right there, I think they're so unique, and they feel so high end and so, you know, high in quality that I think they're absolutely awesome. I love both guitars. I think they're great. Really can't pick one versus the other, but yeah, let's go over some more details though. Talking about the quality, you're gonna see, I'm gonna remove the electronics plate back cover and put that on the screen. You're gonna see, you know, same nice clean wiring as the TM380 with the copper shielding, which is great. And if I remove the tremolo backplate, you're gonna see the same big, you know, brass block in there, which is really, really nice. And the whole route is just really, really clean. I have one kind of a dark point to throw in there, and I have to do it because, you know, you guys know me, I'm a really honest reviewer. I don't care if I get the stuff for free or for a discount. But my experience with the customer service was a little iffy. I will say though, the medium through which I communicated with Shijie was different from the way that you would. I mean, mine I did in a chat setting, and it was with one specific person. And it didn't do it through the website or anything like that. But what happened was, when I first got the Tone Master 380, the purple one, I had some weird stuff going on with the electronics, and I wasn't sure what the issue was, and I was trying to get responses, and they were taking some time, and the responses weren't what you'd normally expect them to be. Eventually I figured it out. It was a super simple deal. I mean, it just had some like very small wood shavings on the pods and a new battery, and that's it. And it may have just been the battery. But just doing those two things, contact cleaner and new battery, that fixed it. So no issues whatsoever. Playability is great. I absolutely love this guitar to my right. With this one, I have an issue that I haven't been able to figure out. I really don't have the time. So I'd rather get it back to my buddy's hands. But what's going on is both the volume and tone pot are killing the volume. I have some suspicions as to what might that be, but I was reaching out to Shijie to see if they could do something about it, or even offer us like a small credit to take it to a reputable tech, just because I really don't have the time to be dealing with it, and I don't have a soldering iron right now if I needed one. And the responses were a little bit delayed. They would take like a day to respond or more, and you know, it wasn't what you'd expect. If you buy from like a larger manufacturer or company, you normally get a faster response, like, oh, okay, we can give you credit, or okay, we'll set up an exchange. For them, it was more like, oh, that never happens. And did you try this? Did you try that? And I found it interesting. You know, nothing wrong. Again, my medium of communication was different from what yours might be. So don't pay that too much attention. And from what I've seen in reviews and forums and Facebook groups and all that stuff, no one has had any issues with these guitars like ever. Like they're very, very good, very, very consistent. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Whatever this is, I'm sure it's a very cheap, quick fix. I just, again, I don't have the time or tools to work on it. Otherwise I would. But yeah, just that note, if you buy from the website, you should be more than fine. And if you buy from Reverb, you know, again, you should also be more than fine. Yeah, that's kind of, I think, all of what I had to share with you guys. Overall, you know, my impression with these guitars, you know, both this one and the purple one, is they're a solid 10 out of 10. I mean, they're amazing instruments for the amount of money that they sell for. They're just absolutely incredible, and I definitely going to continue to be a Shijie customer for a long time. So that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave me a comment, like, subscribe, do all that YouTube jazz, because it helps the guy out, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care and have a great rest of your day.